again with you to sustain you preparing your baccalaureate exams. You know, in your curriculum you have so many grammar structures, and of course we have seen that some points in the previous videos. Today we are going to see one of the other structures we haven't seen yet. I have chosen for you how to express result. Express result. Of course, you have already seen that when you studied how to combine two simple sentences to construct a complex one. Of course, you have seen how to express cause and result. Generally, when you express result, there is always a relationship. You know, in complex sentences, you have, for example, I was absent, for example, a simple sentence. Here, I was absent. Simple sentence. What is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence that contains at least a subject and a verb. We can also add an object or a complement for the sentence. But a simple sentence always contains only one verb. I was sick. So, I was absent, I was sick are two simple sentences. Generally, when we want to combine two simple sentences to construct or to write a complex sentence is constituted at least from two simple sentences that become later clauses. We call this a simple sentence, and this one another simple sentence. But I want to link between them, a link or a conjunction. What conjunction am I going to choose to combine the two sentences? I have first to find the relation between them, or the relationship. But what is the relation between the two sentences? Is it time? No. Is it place? No. One, for example, number one is I was absent. This is a fact. Now we call this the main clause. The second one, I was sick. I was sick is the explanation of the result of the first clause, which is the main clause. I explain why I was absent. So I give the cause. I give the cause. So what do we call this? A cause clause. So the relation between the two sentences is result, clause, or causality. What are the different link words we use to link these two words? So, of course, each relation between two simple sentences has got specific link words to be used. For example, here we have the most used or the most common link word or conjunction used to express cause is because. But there are also other link words that give the same meaning or that give the same function. For example, as, for, since, and so on. Because of, which has also a specific use from the moment it has a preposition he. So, this is not our aim today. I am just warming up your the construction of complex sentences. So, generally we use because. I was absent because I was sick. But if we invert the two sentences, I am going to have the opposite. When the main clause conveys the result, the other clause conveys the cause, and vice versa, the opposite. Okay, for example, if I tell you, I was sick, I was absent. If I consider that the main clause conveys the cause, I am going to explain the result. And thus we called it the result, a result clause after we combine the two. I was absent, I was sick, I was absent. Now the link or the conjunction, the linking words are going to change. From the moment the relation here is not cause, or like here for example, result cause, here we have cause result. So we are going to change the link word. Here we have, for example, link words such as so. The most common link word we generally use, that is very easy and very smooth. I was sick, so I was absent. We can use other words. As a result. I was sick, as a result, I was absent. We can also use consequently. I was sick, consequently, I was absent. So, being absent is the consequence of this fact, to be sick. Of course, there are many other relations between simple sentences. Each time, the relation between the two clauses or more is different. The relation is different, and thus the link words are different. You know, we have, for example, here we have cause clause, result clause. You have seen the cause clause and here the result clause, but we have many other clauses such as the time clause, place clause, relative clause, concession clause, which you have seen through your curriculum in or syllabus in terminal classes, scientific or literary. So there is no difference. Today, we are going to focus on the result clause. So generally, we introduce the result clause using link words so, as a result, or consequently. Generally, there is the link words here introduce the result clause just to give an explanation to the fact introduced or mentioned in the main clause. In your curriculum, Unit 2, you have seen how to introduce so plus adjective plus that, and such plus noun phrase plus that. Of course, you are going to tell me what are these structures used for. These structures are also used to introduce the result. It means that instead of using so as a result consequently, we can also use so plus adjective plus that and such plus noun phrase plus that. But what is the aim of using different structures? First, this is due to the fact that we are sometimes wondering to express things differently, in different ways. Here, for example, so that plus adjective, or so plus adjective plus that, or such plus noun phrase plus that, are used to introduce also the result. But what is the difference between using so as a result and consequently? Here we have these two structures are used to indicate, of course, we said the result, to explain the result, or explain the result. Now, this is the first point. Using these two structures indicate that something extreme, happens. Oh, sorry. Or you want to express something extreme. The result is extremely due to an extreme point, or the result is due to an extreme point. Sometimes, when you want to express the result in a very simple way, you use these link words, so as a result, consequently, as a consequence, etc. Why are we going to use here so plus adjective plus that, or such plus noun phrase plus that? The difference, of course, is in just structure, whether we have just an adjective, one word is an adjective, or a noun phrase. We are going to see what a noun phrase is later. But before that, I want you to understand or to see the use of these two structures and why. You know what extreme is? شيء أقصى يصل إلى درجة قصوى. You want sometimes, let's say, to magnify things. Look, in this example, I am going to show you how we can magnify things, or how we indicate that something extreme happens. For example, my child's room is, let's say, Messi. Not Messi, the football player. Messi means is such a mess, or loudly tied. Here is the example. Tidy or untidy is untidy. It is very, very unclean, or very, very dirty. Untidy. My child's room is in a mess. Nothing is in its right place. Nothing is in its right place. Okay, he can't find, for example, his the let's say, favorite toys, right? My boy, my child is so messy, is in such a mess, or his room is in such a mess that everything around is not in the right place, and he can't find his favorite toys, and he is crying. And what is the sentence going to be here? We have the first simple sentence, second simple sentence, or second simple sentence. I am going to match them. What is my child? It is the relation between them is the same. Then we are introducing the result clause. The first clause, the main clause, is conveying the cause. Or we can consider that when there is a result, of course, we have always a cause, and vice versa. Cause, result, cause. What we have said before that, we said causality, relation of causality. So, either you are going to match the two sentences using linked words introducing result, or using these two structures to express extreme points, an extreme point. تحب تعطي النتيجة ولكن بدرجة مضخم تضخيم الشيء. This is what we want, or what we mean by extreme, or magnify, so to magnify, to make things magnificent. Okay? So, my sentence is going to be this way. I am going to clean this part of the whiteboard. My sentence is going to be my child's room is untidy. Oh, here I am going to use, for example, so, consequently, as a result, etc. My child's room is untidy, so he can't find his favorite toy. In this case, there is nothing extreme, a cause and a result, nothing extreme. But if I want to express it a different way, the mother is so upset that she says, your room is untidy? No, more than untidy, is so untidy. Here we have untidy or messy is an adjective, so we use this structure, so adjective and that. So the same example, but expressing it differently, expressing the result, but also indicating that something extreme is happening. Something extreme is happening. My child's room. Here we have, here we have the adjective, so we use so before the adjective. So untidy, that. And I put that between brackets just to tell you that it is not necessary to express it, or it is not necessary to write it. My child's room is so untidy that he can't find his favorite toys. Oh, my sentence could be, my child's room, sorry, we missed the verb. My child's room is so. My child's room is so untidy that he can't find, or my child's room is so untidy he can't find his favorite toys. Now we go to the second structure. When we have a noun phrase, we don't use so, we use such. When we have an adjective, we use so. Oh. Such exercises, you are given that in your baccalaureate papers, 1 or 2 sentences that you are going to rephrase, to write in a different way, and you are asked to write or to rephrase the sentence using so plus adjective plus that, or such plus noun phrase plus that. So what are you going to do? It is always to read the sentence carefully and to find out where the adjective is, if there is an adjective, and where the noun phrase is, if there is a noun phrase. Fortunately, most of the time you are asked to use either so plus adjective plus that, or such plus noun phrase plus that. Means that when the sentence is given, or the 2 sentences is given, you are going to combine to construct a complex sentence. You are going to know beforehand that you are going to look for an adjective if you are given the first structure, or to look for a noun phrase if you have the second structure. Now the question is, what is a noun phrase? Of course, phrase is not like in French, une phrase. No. Phrase in English is just a group of words that give a meaning, generally used with modifiers. What is a noun phrase? Noun phrase. A noun phrase is a group of 2 or more words, okay, headed most of the time by a noun. That's why we call it a noun phrase. And a noun, for example, table. This is a noun. How can I make this a noun phrase? Generally, it is helped. This is the head of the phrase. If I add to the head, or say headed, this noun phrase, which is part of the sentence, not the whole sentence, part of the sentence, is with modifiers. You know what modifiers are? Are the words or the letters we use generally as articles, prepositions, etc. For example, the, of, them, or with, for example, with him, with her, etc. So, when we have the, etc., here, for example, this is a noun. If I add a, we have now 2 words. This is the indefinite article a, table. The whole becomes a noun phrase. So, this is what we mean by a noun phrase. So, how can I check whether the noun phrase is this, that, or that group? We generally can replace the whole with a personal pronoun. So, try to replace it with a personal pronoun just to check. For example, a table, it. For example, we say, I bought a table, or a nice table. Okay, I added an adjective, but still we call it noun phrase because the head of this, or the main word of this part of the sentence is the noun. A nice table. It. I bought it. I bought it. So this is a way just to check where can I define the noun phrase, and then to apply my structure on these two sentences to gather them and obtain a complex sentence. I think we'll try to do some examples taken from baccalaureate exams and see whether you can do them. So, are you ready? I'm going to clean this way. This part of the sentence. I am going to give you the exercise as it is given in baccalaureate papers. What generally the instructions are very important. You have to understand what they really want. For example, in this back example, this is last year's baccalaureate example or sample. This is last year's شعبة علوم تجريبية, so scientific stream to 2020. We are going to take the example as what is the instruction, or what does the instruction say? Combine each pair of sentences. I say the keyword is combine. You know what combine means? Link. أربط. Combine means that I are going to give you two parts and you are going to combine the two using the structure given there. You are going to be given the structure or the link words. Combine each pair of sentences. Each pair of sentences. You combine each pair of sentences. Here, in this example, you are given two, or in this baccalaureate exam, you are given two sentences. The first one, you are given, provided that which is used generally to combine two sentences, introducing the condition clause. Type, generally, it is used in the type 1. Providing that, as long as. You have seen that in the same unit. The second one, B. So we are going to take B as an example. The sentences are differentiated or distinguished by a full stop. First sentence, full stop, second sentence. And you are going to combine the two to make one complex sentence. Criminals, from the moment we are in unit 2, speaking about ethics in business, criminals and the different illegal practices that some people do. You have seen that in this unit. Criminal, so that's why we have an example speaking about criminals manage. Criminals manage to distinguish, to disguise, or to disguise the origin of their incomes. Full stop. Now this is the first clause. Very simple sentence. Criminals manage, and we have only one verb to disguise the origin of their incomes. What do you mean by disguise? This is also, I can tell you that generally most of the words used in back papers are words you have already seen in class. Disguise is a word you have seen in class. Disguise means to hide the real appearance of something, to hide the real appearance of something. For example, if I put makeup, I am disguising my face. Disguise means to hide the origin of their incomes. What are incomes? Incomes are the money they get, the money they earn. They earn legally or illegally, we don't know, but if they want to disguise their incomes, means that these incomes are illegal, and that's why we call them criminals. The second part, criminals use tricky methods. Tricky methods are the methods that are changing all the time because the police and tax inspectors study the cases and always discover these tricky methods. So these methods change all the time. That's why we call them tricky. Tricky means very intelligent, smart methods to disguise the origin of their incomes. This is not important. What is important is to match the two sentences to get only one, and you are given here between brackets the link word you are going to use. You are going such that. I am going to recall my lessons and know that such here needs a noun phrase. Such, noun phrase, and that. But what I'm going to do is to find this noun phrase. Where is it? Criminals manage to disguise the origin of their incomes. Criminals use tricky methods. And we have such that. Are you all thinking with me? Okay. So try to do it in 1 minute. Where is the noun phrase you need to answer this question or to match the pairs? I think you found it. Here, criminals manage to disguise the origin of their incomes. We don't have any the origin of their incomes. So this is not the sentence needed. Criminals use tricky methods. This is the noun phrase I need. It means that it is also a good example to tell you that we don't always use the first clause at the beginning or the second clause at the beginning. You have just to read the sentence and try to think what is meant by these two sentences and how can I use this structure or this link word to combine the two sentences, express a result using such plus noun phrase plus that. Okay, don't forget that that is not necessary to mention. So, my sentence is going to be criminals use. Oh, this is the verb, this is the noun phrase. I can use such plus noun phrase. Use such tricky methods. Such tricky methods. From the moment now I am going to build one sentence, we don't need full stop, it is going to be one complex sentence, from two simple sentences to one complex sentence. Criminals use such tricky methods that they manage to disguise the origin of their incomes. Another example, how you can consider that we have such noun phrase and that. So my sentence is correct. Another example, always in the same theme, unethical practices, illegal practices, etc. Another example, example 2, you have example 1, example 2. Look at the sentence. HSB Bank. Now this is a bank called HSB. I don't know, I think it is British. HSB Bank was helpful. Full stop. Wealthy. Wealthy clients of this bank, wealthy clients evaded, and I think you have already seen this verb, evaded, and to remind you or to recall, you have to recall tax evasion. Evade, evasion. Evade is the verb, evasion. Now, clients evaded means they didn't stay, they didn't pay their taxes. HSB Bank was helpful. Wealthy clients evaded their due taxes. And here you are given so that. Okay, I know beforehand that after so I need an adjective. So what I'm going to do is to read the sentences but carefully, try to see whether there is an adjective alone, not in a phrase. Here, for example, HSB Bank was helpful. So generally, when an adjective is alone, we find it after a couple of verbs, such as the verb to be. As an example, we say, for example, this is nice. This is nice. Is a couple of verbs, nice is the adjective. So generally when we find the adjective alone, it is after a couple of verbs, such as the verb to be or the verb to feel. I feel angry. I feel happy. Wealthy here means rich people, rich clients. Wealthy clients evaded their due taxes, means they don't want to pay their taxes to the state, to the government. And who helped them? The bank. which is illegal, which is also unethical. Here I have an adjective. So I can link the two words using this, link the two sentences using this structure. So my sentence is gonna be HSB Bank was so helpful. Was so helpful. I am going to magnify. Not only helpful, but very, very, very helpful to a degree, لدرجة أن, to a degree that it encouraged its clients to evade taxes or to evade paying taxes. So this is what we call tax evasion, if you remember. HSB Bank was so helpful that, and don't forget that is not necessary to mention, so helpful that wealthy clients are so helpful wealthy clients. So helpful that wealthy clients evaded their due taxes. And our taxes are ضرائب. Due taxes ضرائب التي يجب دفعها. HSB Bank was so helpful that wealthy clients evaded their due taxes. Sometimes you are given such sentences that you are asked to rephrase the sentences using other links that introduce the result. Means that I can have such a sentence and I am asked to write the sentence again using so as a result, consequently as a consequence, and this is very, very doable. We can do it very easily. HSB Bank was helpful, so wealthy clients evaded their due taxes. As a result, wealthy clients evaded their due taxes. Consequently, wealthy clients evaded their due taxes. So, as a resume, we are going to go back and say that there are two different ways to express result clauses. One, which is the most common usage, so as a result, consequently as a consequence, and the second one is used when we use these two structures, so plus adjective plus that, and such plus a noun phrase plus that, just to express it a different way. In this way we magnify the facts, or we magnify the cause, or we magnify the results at the same time. As we said, to say that an extreme point is happening, or something is happening to an extreme point. I hope you find this lesson very useful. Try to prepare something different for next time, maybe other structures or baccalaureate papers to be done together. Thank you very much. See you next.